Hi everyone, hope you're well. Today is Tuesday the 23rd of April 2013 and I actually made a couple of videos today. I got back into doing a couple of LP seasons that I put on hold. Namely my old vanilla Minecraft LP that is actually Snapshot. I'm going to be using the snapshots as there's more coming out again, and there's a whole load of stuff that I haven't explored in that LP with new snapshots. And also it's been such a while that it's actually quite fun and exciting to return to it. Obviously I stopped it in the first place at the point where I kind of lost momentum, and after being killed by the dragon I kind of lost momentum and couldn't be bothered to return. It was too crushing, but now it's been like half a year. I've been saying that it was actually the last main, when I got killed by the dragon was last October. There was actually one episode in January where I popped in and did a quick episode to go and find some quartz and to make some quartz. But apart from that, and I was thinking, when I did that, I was thinking of doing small episodes just to show off snapshot features, but most of them are actually quite tricky to find in survival unless you're actually playing it properly over a period of time. But I've decided to start that again, so that's fun. So I'll probably be doing a little bit of that every day, but I'm going to try and not let it take up as much time as it did before, because before it got to the point where I was getting so into it that I was spending hours off camera building stuff and making stuff, and then the videos were like an update. But that meant it was taking up a lot of time. So I'm going to try and do, if I do have a big project, I'll try and do it a little bit at a time on camera and actually have, but still try and make the episodes interesting somehow, like have a specific thing to do each episode, like, or a specific amount I want to do, or something small to show off, even if it's only something small, something interesting each episode, so that all the action's on camera and I'm not wasting too much time off camera. And the other one is Isaac. I've got back into, so I tried to get some Isaac episodes up like a while ago, and then I accidentally deleted the best episode, and then I went, screw it, delete all of them. I had like 3 that I thought were worth putting up, but they weren't the greatest. But I've got back into it. There's always loads to do, so it's not like there's that much missed out from what I did achieve. It was just Samson being really, really difficult to get any progress with Samson. So I was doing so many episodes, and eventually I finally got a Samson run where he completed the womb, he killed It Lives, and that's the episode I lost. But that's basically the main progress, but even that isn't that exciting, because most of the other characters, killing the heart is pretty straightforward. And so, but now I've finally got him to the same level as all the other characters. I'm now continuing with trying to get a video of each of the characters killing Satan first, and then I'll move on to the cathedral, and then we'll move on to the chest. So I'm excited about that as well. Again, hoping it doesn't take up too much time. I'm going to try and make at least 1 or maybe more episodes of that a day, so I have a slight backlog. So is backlog the right word or not? But I can schedule them ahead of time. That's what I did before. Last time I had a big group of Isaac episodes together, it's because I'd record several episodes a day, like 3 or 4. Goodness, motorbike outside, excuse that. I'd record like multiple episodes a day and schedule them up, so I could do that for several days in a row, and I'd be covered for like 2 weeks. So that's really great. But it's a bit extreme because it takes up all the time, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do that as much again. But as part of me wants to sort of like make my video making sustainable, and then but as I'm sort of like getting more motivated again and more organised in general, I realise that there is actually a lot of time in the day, that I've found a lot of time in the day, and so I could actually start doing a few of these LPs again, as long as I don't... because I always have this struggle of knowing whether I want to do them or not. And LPs in general, I'm not sure if they're the best content, but they're good content for just, you know, entertainment purposes, and I do gain new subs through the LPs. I don't think LPs are the answer to becoming huge YouTube superstar, but I think they can be sustainable content. But I want to do like really great quality content as well, and you know, I've kind of had an attitude for a while now, which was I'm going to stop doing so many LP videos so that I have time to do amazing content. And I haven't done amazing content. You know, I haven't done as much amazing content as I thought I would get done. So I'm going to try and find a balance between doing a bit of LP each day, but really keeping track of how much time I spend doing it, and still making sure I spend time doing other things as well, so that I don't just... Because the trap I fell into before was I thought I'm going to do loads of LP videos, and then all my time was filled doing LP videos, and I felt like I was being busy, but I actually wasn't doing anything that was going to bring me any kind of great progress in my YouTube career or whatever. So, but I think it's important to... I don't know. I'm finding a balance. At the moment, I feel good. So I'm going to just finding a balance so I can just make as much content as possible, basically. I think I might just go back to sort of like analysing the early part of my career and Minecraft Daily, and thinking, I'm not sure if a lot of Minecraft Daily was actually that great at the start, and I think a lot of the growth and stuff I found from it simply was just the fact that it was daily, and it's that kind of regular content that people can go, oh, I enjoy watching this guy's stuff, and he's putting out stuff every day, so I'm going to subscribe, there's always something to watch. And that's something that I've kind of lost more recently on my gaming channel by trying to do only high quality stuff. It doesn't have the same... it doesn't have the same traction, is that the right word? It doesn't have the same constant videos every day, because you don't know what's going to be a hit and what isn't. And sometimes if you just do a lot of stuff, then the odd video will grab attention. You know, you'll be doing a subject that people are searching for something, especially doing like snapshot stuff with my LP. You know, if it taps into, like, you know, the more kind of stuff you do, it kind of connects with other things, and people find you through searches and related videos and stuff. So, and I think the more recent a video is, the higher it ranks and all of that as well. So if you're always putting out recent videos, sometimes old videos will still get attention. But anyway, I think I still kind of feel the same as I did about LPs, but I think I've just come to the realisation that it doesn't have to necessarily take up as much time as I was spending on them before. I can still just do a little bit of a bit of LPs a day for fun. And that's the other thing. If I keep it fun and don't overdo it, and it's fun, then it doesn't really matter, because it's almost like that's not work time. That's spare time. That's me having fun in my spare time. I just happen to be recording stuff at the same time, and then I've still also have time to do kind of bigger, more interesting projects as well. And LPs don't have to be boring, so it's also remembering to keep focused on trying to make them entertaining as possible. What's the other one? My game. I've been thinking about. I first had this sort of like brainwave that the original very simple idea of it is so completely different to how the game's now evolved that I could do that simple idea and not feel like I'm dumbing down my main project, but actually doing a completely separate game and still work on my more complicated version of it separately. And now I started thinking about that, and now they're kind of merging together again, where I think I might be simplifying the more complicated project, and actually maybe the more simple It mostly revolves around the random monsters. And when I first had the idea, I had like the idea of like really wacky, cartoony random monsters, you know. And then as it got more serious, I thought, okay, I still want the random element, but I want the monsters to be kind of like believable and not completely wacky, you know, not clearly, you know, sort of like have an elephant with a dog's head or whatever. I want it to be an elephant, but I want it to be hundreds of different variations of the elephant. But now I'm going back to kind of the more wacky kind of elephant and the dog's head, by the way, is not a combination in the game. At least not yet. Maybe it will be. but yeah, very wacky, cartoony idea. And now I'm actually thinking, well, actually, it would have more of a personality if it had that kind of wacky vibe, but it could still all the kind of more advanced, in-depth gameplay ideas I want could still work in that style. And so, because it was kind of going more towards a kind of serious style, which would have been very similar to Monster Hunter, which I'm playing a lot at the moment. And I was thinking, playing Monster Hunter, I was thinking, well, it would, you know, I don't want it to just turn into, although a good way of pitching it is to say it's a bit like a turn-based Monster Hunter, I don't actually want it to literally be a turn-based Monster Hunter. I want it to have its own identity. And so I think the kind of more wacky cartoon style might fit it better, but the difference being when I originally thought of the wacky cartoon style, the monsters were going to be absolutely nuts. But I think I'm still like floating heads and stuff, you know. But I think I'm still going to go with the vibe that although the monsters can be completely mixed up, muddled things of different, there's going to be certain monster types, but those monster types can be combined to make hybrid monsters, basically. And so elephant with a dog's head, you know, as a kind of not a real example, but imagine that, yeah. So like there's an elephant type monster and there's a dog type monster, but you also occasionally encounter an elephant with a dog's head, you know. So yeah, the difference so now being that I want the monsters to still make sense biologically. So an elephant with a dog's head is fine, but an elephant with a dog's head that can fly without wings isn't fine. But if it has wings, then okay, it can fly. So it's not completely random and nutty. It's still like the monsters have, every part of the monster has a function, and if it doesn't have that part, then it can't do that function. Nothing can float through. I can't have floating heads, and I can't have monsters that are just a head, because they have to have a circuit. You know, they have to have a digest. You know, they have to have a body. You know, they have to have blood circulation and digestion. You know, and they have to be able to move around. They can't just float through the air. They have to either have wings or they have to have legs, and preferably they have to always have legs or tentacles. But anyway, that's kind of something that I'll save to show you more when I've actually done more of it. But I feel quite excited because the serious monster designs were probably not going to be as fun. Probably going to be going to take longer because it was a case of having each monster type has to have its own variation. So I was going to have to work on each monster type individually and say, here are all the variations of this wolf type of monster that you can have. Here are all the different furs and stuff but is all contained within this wolf monster. But now I'm going back to the more kind of wacky style where monsters can cross over and stuff. Then it's like, well, I can work on each one, but each monster that I do, like all the monsters can combine together. So every single monster type that I create makes the entire game better. I think that's the best way to explain it. off the top of my head anyway. The other thing I've been meaning to do today, I'm just looking down at my desk and I have these kind of, have a couple of different notepads, and it's getting quite jumbled with lots of different notes and stuff. So I'm going to kind of organise them a bit, I think, and maybe get rid of some of them. And tidy up my notes, because they're meant to make my life simpler. And they actually make my life seem more complicated because there's all these notes scattered around. And so I need to decide which ones are out of date and I don't need anymore, and maybe compile a couple of these lists together and cross stuff off. And because it kind of just becomes this big mash of words and stuff, which is meant to be organising my life but actually makes it more cluttered. So I need to sort that out. I'm not going to show you it because it is partly because it's going to give away secret plans and stuff. But anyway, I think, and also my actually more honestly, I can't tilt my camera down. That's one of the main reasons I'm not going to show you, but maybe another time. So I think that's all for today. And the other thing with my game, coming up with game ideas, is I'm obsessed with the idea of making a card game, but that's a big subject for another time. So I think that's all for today. I hope you're well. Sorry for a rambly, not particularly interesting vlog today, but that is just generally what I've been up to, is getting into making lots of videos on my gaming channel again. And of course, part of finding the time for other things is also going to be finding times for non-gaming videos on my kind of main new channel, my non-gaming channel. So that's another thing as well. And I kind of wanted to get this done early so that I could carry on the roll. As you can tell, I'm quite energetic today and enthusiastic. So hope I didn't bore you to death, and hope you're well, and I will see you later.